Jungle Boy and Cody have a hard-hitting match for the TNT Championship. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page defend their tag titles. New Japan has released yet another statement in regards to what they're going to be doing to start shows once again. And Fyter Fest, we have dates for it. So, thanks for joining me. My name is Eric. Thanks for tuning in to the Newswire on That's Wrestling. You can grab this as an audio podcast on all your favorite podcast apps. I was just alerted yesterday it was added to iTunes, and it is there now for you. So, let's get into the news. We also have Arn Anderson. He has signed a multi-year deal with AEW after being fired from WWE last year, supposedly due to letting Alicia Fox go out and have a match while she was intoxicated, so that's a little strange, but he had been a producer there for almost 20 years. He was looking to land in a place. He didn't want to be somewhere he wasn't wanted. It seems at an AEW he is, so he has now signed a multi-year deal there. That is probably very good news for AEW. Having a mind like Arn Anderson locked down for quite a while is probably a very good thing for them. And of course, Cody is going to enjoy that very much. Also, Fyter Fest, we have dates for it now. The 1st and 8th of July. So it's basically going to be a 2-week, 2-night event as far as AEW is concerned. They're basically going to have super shows of Dynamite on those 2 days. All the titles will be defended. So we have Hangman Page and Kenny Omega will be going up against Best Friends for the tag titles. Not sure who will be facing Cody for the TNT Championship just yet. The main event, obviously, is going to be Jon Moxley versus Brian Cage for the AEW Heavyweight Championship, and we do not have a current challenger lined up for Hikaru Shida's Women's Championship, so we should be probably seeing that in the next couple shows at least. We got a month to go, so there's plenty of time for them to figure out what they're going to be doing there. New Japan has released yet another statement following up the one from a couple days ago that when they do start running empty arena shows, they will be doing COVID antibody testing. So they are going to be doing the full testing just like AEW is when they do their shows, testing all their wrestlers, testing all their crew to make sure it is as safe as they can be in the environment running a empty arena. And yes, that is my dog on the floor once again, dropping a bone on the floor. Just ignore her. So for a quick rundown of last night's Dynamite, we started off the night with Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for the AEW tag titles. I was a little perplexed why this went on first, but it was a pretty good match. Went on a decent amount of time, almost 20 minutes, I believe, and the champions had a lot of good teamwork. They didn't look like they were showing any signs of dissension, so is this they have made up and there is no more splitting of Hangman Page off of the Elite? And the match was almost stolen by Jimmy Havoc when he decided to bring a wrench into the equation and he hit Hangman Page on the back of the head with the wrench, but in the end, Omega and Page pull out the win, and the move that is the V-trigger buckshot combo is now the last call, as that's how it was referenced at least. Next up, there's a quick segment with Matt Hardy and Private Party talking about how he thought the bond of Private Party was very similar to him and his brother, and Private Party pretty much marked out for Matt. When Matt left, he ran into Sammy Guevara in the hallway and said that he and Sammy were cool and showed him gave him respect, I guess. He actually said respect. Next up, Jericho and Colt Cabana had a match together, which was pretty good. Colt actually started off and got control of the match pretty early into the match, but of course that means Jake Hager can't let that stand very long. He gets involved. Eventually, Jericho gets the win with a Judas effect out of nowhere. After the match, he calls out Tyson. He wants to fight him now. He wants the baddest man on the planet to come out now. And actually, Orange Cassidy is the one who answers the call of being the baddest man on the planet. And he dodges a few attacks from Jericho and Jake Hager before making his way into the crowd and leaving with the Best Friends. Then we have Big Swole versus Nyla Rose. This was pretty much a back and forth. Swole actually got quite a lot of offense in. Nyla eventually picks up the win with a spear and then a beast bomb. After the match, Tony is trying to interview Big Swole at ringside, but Britt Baker, sitting in the back of the utility vehicle that Omega and Hardy used to run down Sammy, she gets to jaw-jacking, and the two of them yell at each other, and it looks like they're going to set up some sort of feud between the two of them, but of course, Britt is going to be out for at least a couple months because of her injuries. We will see how that turns out. Tony and Darby Allin have a short pre-record. Tony asks Darby if he thinks that the beating from Brian Cage is a result of his interactions with Taz in the previous weeks, and really all Darby Allin says is that he's going to get the last laugh in the end. Then we have a sit-down interview once again with Tony and FTR. They're in what looks like the atrium area, the entrance area. I believe it was actually to the Jacksonville Jaguars stadium, but it's a really nice open area with some couches and whatnot. Essentially, the FTR said that the match between the Young Bucks and themselves is not a dream match for them. They are here to get the tag titles and prove that they are the best, and they just want to punch the Young Bucks in the mouth and prove that they are the best, and they want them to be 100% by the time that match happens, so there is no excuses. Brody Lee tries to recruit Colt Cabana after his loss while he's giving an interview to Alex Marvez. Colt Cabana says afterwards, when Brody leaves, that he wants nothing to do with that. Jungle Boy and Cody Rhodes have a hard-hitting match for the TNT Championship. Cody ends up getting bloodied after he ends up headbutting the side of the stage. There's another point where both of them end up going through a table that's set up on the floor from the top rope. In the end, Cody hits a crossroads for the win. After the match, he gives Jungle Boy a hug as a show of sign of respect. They all seem on good terms, and then Pyro goes off for some reason that I'm not really sure why. We also have matches announced for next week. We have Jon Moxley will be appearing on AEW Dark on Tuesday. Sammy Guevara will be facing Colt Cabana. Mark Quinn, for some odd reason that wasn't really explained, is getting a shot at the TNT title against Cody, and FTR, Butcher and Blade will be facing off against each other. And then Santana and Ortiz and Jake Hager will be facing the Best Friends with Orange Cassidy. So I'm actually really looking forward to that match next week. So that's it for the news today. Be sure to tune in to the AEW Dynamite post show here on That's Wrestling this evening. And if you would like the podcast version of the Newswire, you can search That's Wrestling Newswire on all your favorite podcast apps. It was just added to iTunes yesterday, so it's slowly cascading out to all the apps, and hopefully it'll be on everything soon now that it's on iTunes. So thanks for watching the Newswire on That's Wrestling. I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.